All right, very good. Good afternoon, Dan O'Shea, Chief of Police, Rockford, Illinois. I'm here today with State's Attorney Marilyn Height Ross to talk about some of the current investigations that we have going, some of the current arrests, as well as bring an update on the Super 8 motel murder and eventual suicide from last night or 2 nights ago. We'll start out with the Super 8 motel incident. As we previously reported, it occurred a little after 12:30 in the morning at the hotel, and we found through further investigation and as we've collected all the information up to this point, initial call to the police was for domestic disturbance. The victim, one of the victims, came to the front desk seeking help, and a phone call to 911. Officers were responding to that when the suspect appeared in the lobby of the hotel and began firing on the victims. All three victims were in the lobby area when they were shot by the suspect, in this case identified as Antonio Wilson, who's 35 years of age and is from Freeport, Illinois. The three victims who were struck in the lobby, two of them are still listed in critical condition at local hospitals. They are a 46-year-old female and a 34-year-old female, and the decedent is a 19-year-old male. Two of them are from Rockford, one of them is from Freeport. During the incident, I think it's important to note that gunfire was discharged at the police officers. 5 Rockford police officers returned fire during the incident. Those officers, per our standards and protocol, will remain on administrative leave while we review the incident, and we continue the investigation. At this point, we can't talk about motive or anything else, and I can't provide any further information on the victims. The deceased victim will be identified by the coroner, as is the protocol with all of our homicides and murders. We let the coroner's office contact family, and after that's all done, the coroner will then identify the victim. Super 8 motel was chaotic at best, and officers responding initially were just going for a domestic. Then it became shots fired, and then while the officers were clearing the hotel and checking the first floor rooms, that's when they were fired upon, and they did not know that the suspect was still on scene. So you can imagine the chaos that ensued at that point. The officers did exactly what they were trained to do. They handled it extremely well. I couldn't be more proud of the officers that were there dealing with this at the very beginning all the way through the end. Particular note, I want to thank the other agencies that also responded during that incident. Boone County Sheriff Department, Cherry Valley Police Department, the Illinois State Police, the Loves Park Police Department, Rock Valley College Police Department, and the Winnebago County Sheriff's Department. All those agencies, as always, they always come out and assist us and help us with calls when call volumes are high. During this particular incident, they also responded. You can never have enough officers when gunfire is being exchanged with a suspect. The suspect was utilizing a weapon that was penetrating walls, interior walls, exterior walls. Very, very concerning for us. Ballistic shields provide a lot of protection for us, but there's different ratings on ballistic shields. So rifle rated shields are different from pistol rated shields. There's a lot of things going on at that incident, and all the officers that responded and the supervisors that were there did a great job. SWAT was there within an hour, up and running and dealing with things. Our bomb unit assisted the SWAT unit. I know out there was gunfire. Some of the media heard the gunfire, wanted to know what was gunfire, what was us. I couldn't tell you which one was what during the night. We did deploy distraction devices that make some little bit of loud booms. We also used explosives using dynamic breaching, trying to keep our officers safe and locate the suspects. So there's a lot of things going on out there. More will come out when the whole investigation is complete. I fully expect the 5 Rockford officers that fired to be back at work as soon as they go through our standards and protocols. And once the autopsy is done on the suspect, I feel very confident based on what we know now that the suspect didn't commit suicide and inflicted a self-inflicted gunshot wound that caused his death. But the coroner will make that final determination. Going to jump over to a little earlier in the night, Saturday night, about 10 o'clock. 18th Street and 18th Street and Charles Street, the murder that occurred there. In that, there was a 21-year-old male victim that was killed behind a building there. We did locate and arrest a suspect in that incident. In that incident, a juvenile male who's 17 years of age was charged with first-degree murder, armed robbery, and felony murder during an armed robbery. Also charged in that incident is a Avante Murphy, who is 20 years of age, from Rockford, and he's charged with an unlawful or unauthorized sale of a firearm and no FOID card. That case is still ongoing and being investigated. Right now, those charges have been filed by the State's Attorney's Office. More will come on information from on that case from the State's Attorney's Office when appropriate. Saturday night was busy, to say the least. During all that chaos, or immediately preceding that, the first murder at 10 o'clock, we continued with our violent crime reduction initiative, going out and seeking the individuals with the guns that are going around terrorizing this city as of lately. Just in going over some highlights of it, we've had 11 charges for various weapon offenses in the last 4 days, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. During that time, we've also recovered 11 guns from suspects in various incidents. 6 of those guns were Thursday night and Friday night, 4 of them were Saturday night, or 5 of them, and then another one, or I'm sorry, 4 on Saturday night and the remaining on Sunday night. Sunday night, last night, one of the guns we recovered, and the guy's got a 50-round drum magazine to attach to his handgun. 50 rounds coming at you it's insane. It really is, and it's very concerning for us, for the public, for the officers that are responding to these calls. It's an incredible amount of ammunition to be firing through one gun. Also recovered during that with that gun and 50-round magazine was $17,000 United States currency. Leave it up to you, figure out where the money's coming from, but that was seized. Every one of the cars that's used in these incidents, we're seizing all their cars. We're doing everything we can to make it as hard as we can on these individuals that possess these guns and are running around. I assure you, a lot of these people are not stopping, and they're not cooperating with the police. Initially, we've been in quite a few incidents where we've had to deploy stop sticks, or the vehicle flees and subsequently crashes a short time later. These people are not who we want in the city of Rockford. I'll just show them pictures and suspects and charges on them, and this will be for Friday night. Here's some of the arrests from Friday night, and this is all from the Violent Crime Reduction Initiative. These individuals and these charges were from Friday night. We'll go back to them and you can get pictures and photos and information afterwards. Michelle will provide information on all this after the fact, or you can get this after. The second screen is Saturday night and the individuals arrested and the charges against them. It's very concerning. And some of these people, some of them live in Rockford, and some of them are from Chicago, the south suburbs of Chicago, Freeport, and they're finding their way here to bring their weapons and their ridiculousness to this city, and it's got to stop. And that's our job doing this violent crime initiative. And then the next page, this is last night, Sunday night. These are the individuals that were grabbed, and more guns and more chases and more people that want to fight with the police. And we're not going to stop. And State's Attorney Height Ross and I held a press conference last week, and I thought she made it very clear they're going to prosecute everybody for these weapons. I know I was pretty darn clear in saying we're coming after everybody and anybody because of the recent crimes and the recent violence. I'll stand here and I'll say it every week, and I'll hear people say, oh my gosh, there's too much crime in Rockford. We're doing our part. The State's Attorney's doing their part. We need the public to do their part, and we need the judicial system to do their part and get rid of these people and put them in the Department of Corrections and get them the heck off of the streets of Rockford. We're putting them in jail. Prosecutors or State's Attorney Ross is prosecuting them. Now we need the rest of the system, and we need the community to step up and help us out. Let's make Rockford safe. Let's get these idiots off the street before summer. We're doing everything we can. We'll continue to do it. With that,